So you want to make inexpensive fire starters for your grill. Just get some cotton ball, a mason jar with the lid on it. Dump a little isopropyl alcohol into cotton balls and it'll stay moist and ready to go for quite a while. Light them up. Got some hickory wood chips. You can throw in some of that for flavoring. So today I'm cooking up some pork loin. This is about 8.6 pounds. It's so long that I had to cut it in half. Got some rub here. That's just paprika and all the spices. Put that on the fat side. But before we do anything, we got to have ourselves the obligatory beer. Num num. Put the grill on here and let the grill heat up. Cook all this gunk off of it. The grill I have is a Char Griller Acorn, and this is great for cooking like brisket. If you want to go low and slow, you can easily do that with a temperature control unit. This is the Pitmaster IQ temperature control unit. You can set the temperature that you want. Say you're cooking brisket and you want to go really low and slow, 225 for 4 or 5 hours, you can do that easily. And it has a fan in here. It has a temperature sensor on the side that you plug in and put inside the grill. It has a power adapter here that plugs into 110. You set your temperature. It has a fan in here. You can set the fan amount of air that gets pushed in there. If you don't want it sucking a lot of air, you can put it to 1. Or if you want to really heat things up, you can put it to 4. But this is great for controlling your temperature. So here's the bottom vent on the Acorn, and your Pitmaster IQ just slips in there. Then you close this, then you plug the temperature sensor in. It's got a metal sheathing on it to allow it to sit inside your grill. It's got an alligator clip. So you, Jesus Christ. So you clip it like that, where your meat's going to be sitting. Close the lid. Plug in the power supply. Set your temperature. I want to go about 300. You see this light here blinking green. That means it's low temperature. If it's a solid green, it's at temperature. If it's blinking red and green, then it means your lid is off. If it's a solid red, then it means you're high temperature, too high of a temperature. If it's blinking red, then it means you have a fire inside. So the light is solid green, which means it's at temperature, 300 degrees. And this says it's 250. Since it's at temperature, I'll close this down to about a number 1, so it has enough air to keep going. So I've closed this down to about a number 1, and it says it's over temp. And clean this off real quick. But I have this Firestone that goes in here, and it basically blocks the direct heat to your meat, because you don't want your meat getting charred by the direct heat from the charcoals. So I've got this Maverick barbecue thermometer. Bought it from Home Depot for around 30 bucks. And then I'm gonna insert the probe into the meat and close the lid and lock it. So I have this set to #1 notch so it can barely suck any air, so you don't get a lot of convection, because you want this unit to control the airflow. And when you control the airflow, you control the temperature. If I was to open this all the way up to #4, this would be completely useless, because it'd be sucking so much air through convection in through this little vent here and out the top. But when we get up to temperature, then I'll close the top, and then we'll just let this sit and let the pork get up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So this green light is solid. It says we're at the temperature. I've closed down the top vent to #1 so that we don't generate any more heat than we need to. So this is my world. This is Pikes Peak. Already has snow on it. Tomorrow we're supposed to get basically shit on by a huge snowstorm. It's now 75 degrees today. Tomorrow it'll be 17 degrees. Yeah, gotta love living there. But yeah, I wouldn't change this for anything. My nearest neighbor is about a half mile away. I don't hear any assholes blaring their music, no barking dogs, no assholes to piss me off at all. And yeah. So now the Pitmaster IQ says the temperature is too high because this LED is red. You can close this down to just a notch. You can close it completely and then open it up to like half a notch. Or you can belch your acorn and just let some of the heat out. That's all you need to do, about once or twice. And now this says it's at temperature. And now this will control the temperature for hours on end. So when this temperature gets low and it senses it, it'll pump air into it. Right now, it's just going to sit there and let the stuff cook. The internal temperature of the pork is 142. Another about half hour and we'll be having some pork loin. You know what that means? So this took about 2 hours to cook this from in the refrigerator to 160 degrees internal temperature. Look at that. If you use the same utensils that you used on the raw meat, make sure you go and wash it with soap and water and let it dry so you don't get salmonella. So removing the probes, and we'll take the meat out, let it rest for about 15 minutes. See, it's nice and caramelized. All the brown sugar in that rub just melted. It'll make a beautiful cover on it. All the drippings down there on that stone, it keeps your meat from getting direct heat from the charcoals. So there's 8.6 pounds of delicious pork cooked for 2 hours until it's 160 degrees internal temperature. Nice and golden brown on the outside. So the meat's rested for about 15 minutes and I'm gonna cut into it. Perfectly done. Cooked all the way through. I mean, look at the juices pour out of that thing. Nice, kind of a spicy and smoky flavor. Man, that is good. Put ground chili pepper and flaked chili pepper in there. Oh my God. And that charred on the outside, done on the inside. I've cut up 8.6 pounds of that pork loin. Look at the juices just flow out of that thing. I've got probably 2 weeks worth of meals right now. Look at that. Look at how moist it is. Yummy. That is a face of determination because he wants more pork.